Hey everybody, Aaron here, and welcome back to another anime review. Today we're looking at Eromanga Sensei episode 8. Okay, I'll be honest with you. This episode wasn't too bad. I actually enjoyed it up to the ending. I think the ending was, I don't know, my issue with Eromanga Sensei is that I get it. They're not really related by blood. They're really more of an adopted family, and that's why the romance in this is not so odd. It's more realistic than, say something like Arimo. But the issue I have with it is that I feel sometimes at times this show tries to be like Arimo, and it loses its own identity. Because when I first saw the first episode, I actually was like, okay, this might be pretty good. I wish this show at times would have a better kind of way of handling its characters, if that makes sense. Like, the best way I can put it is that, for example, this week's episode, we had more about, the truth behind why Masamune wants to have a family, why he's kind of the way he is as a person. We learn about how he's really afraid to be alone because of the fact of his mom dying when he was at the house alone. That really tore into him and kind of put a thing on him where he needs to have people around. That is some good character development. I like that. I really thought that was a great moment. And the way they handled the romance stuff in the beginning of the episode and even in the end was pretty good for the most part. I liked it. The only issue I have with it is that I get that, he's in love with this girl. He's in love with his sister. She's not really a sister, but, quote unquote. And, Kagari clearly loves, Masamune. I mean, he has, he even told in the beginning of the episode that she's first in his heart. And yet they keep playing this, like, little brother-sister complex, where it's like, or excuse me, brother and sister complex. It's like, why? At this point, just admit you love her and let her admit it, to her. And I don't understand why they can't just fall in love with each other. Like, why they have to keep dancing around this fact when they clearly are in love with each other. I don't get it. It baffles me. And it's like, that's what makes this show so irritating to me, because, at least in Arimo, and that, I hate to say it because I said before that it tries too hard to be like this, but this is the one element I think that it should have taken in, was that in Arimo, the brother and sister fell in love with each other gradually, but they actually did fall in love with each other. In this show, they're not doing that. They're just more so dancing around each other, and it's clear as day that they have feelings for each other, but to the exact extent that they know they have feelings for each other. It's the same concept if you have a girl or a guy you like, and you decide, you know what, I'm just going to keep being their friend, but, I'm always going to lie to myself about those feelings forever. You can't do that. Realistically, that's going to kill you inside. And you can see it's already kind of killing her a little bit. It's killing him slightly, because they clearly want to talk to one another. They want to be more engaged with one another. She even made the statement that she wants to be the person she loves bride. That means she's willing to be his freaking wife if he really asked it. Okay, that's how much this girl loves this dude, and yet they're not going further with it. It's like, what are you doing? I get. Are you trying to stretch out the story? I think that's what it's trying to do, and it annoys me because it's like so obvious. I think that Eromanga's pacing is what kills it. Like, that's for me, I think, the biggest issue. I laughed during a few times of this episode. I was actually laughing, and that's something I haven't done for most episodes of the show so far. I laughed when you had the elf girl actually, talk about working for Dengeki Bunko, which is actually a famous, group that makes stuff like, Sword Art, the light novels. They publish the Sword Art light novels, the Spice and Wolf light novels, etc. I thought that was funny as hell. I was cracking up because they were using the images of the background, and that was funny. But it's like, the comedy only can do so much for me in this show. It's not enough for me to laugh, because I'm not finding it that funny. I find certain scenes sometimes funny, but for the most part, I really want this show to be a little bit better in terms of its romance. I would love to know, do you guys feel like the same way as me? Like, do you feel like this show's missing something? I know I'm kind of feeling like I'm crazy, because I know some people love this show. They think it's like the best show ever, and some people hate it. I know some of you agree with me on certain topics, but I would love to know, what do you guys think? You think, like, is it the pacing? What's doing it bad for you in the story? What's making it so successful for you in the story? Because I would love to know in the comments below. Tell me what you thought, your thoughts are. I will talk to you guys later. I will probably try to review Creators later. I'm not sure if I can get to it, though. We'll try anyways, though. See you later, everyone. Bye-bye.